So you know how people always say the cost and repair of electric vehicles are just way more expensive than internal combustion engines, period. There's just nothing you can say about it, right? Well, so an owner of a brand new Toyota Corolla GR, the little sports model one, it's like a little stick shift kind of car. It is brand new. Man didn't even have it for 3 months, I would say. And guess what? He completely destroyed his engine, and you won't believe how much it costs to replace it. $42,000. $42,000, what? Yes, $42,000. So, the way that this happened is this man was driving along and most likely he was speeding in his car and just whipping it up, and he made a mistake when he shifted gears. Instead of going into, I believe he wanted to go into third gear, he accidentally put it back into first gear, and this obliterated his engine. I'm talking about parts melted. There was scrap metal inside of the oil part, like everything. The car went to crap. And instead of it being under warranty, but because he did what he did, it's not. So he's stuck with a bill of $42,000. So, I mean, and you can't even say that this is just one car. Like, we don't know how many times this happened elsewhere or who's reporting on this. Like, for people to just keep saying that electric vehicles cost way more, then how do you explain this? And this doesn't even matter if this is the only scenario, but it's the truth. Like, no electric vehicle costs as much to even replace a battery. People keep saying electric vehicles to replace a battery is $20,000. Well, yes, a brand new battery, but you can get a used battery for about $8,000. It's not that much of a difference, but the point is like for someone to get a Toyota Corolla, one of the cheapest cars on planet Earth, for it to break and it costs $42,000 to repair, I don't know. I mean, that's... What's more interesting is that electric vehicle sales are growing so rapidly that major car companies are actually lobbying against making electric vehicles. They're just like, we can't make them cheap and affordable enough, so we don't really want to make them right now. Can we just get someone to come in and say, don't make EVs? They're trying to lobby against it. I mean, Nissan has a lot that has had over 100 cars on it that haven't been sold for a year. And I'm talking about in America. So like, this is a big deal. They're even telling their employees at the Nissan car lot, the Nissan itself, they're saying, hey, sell your cars at a loss. So imagine if you're the one who owns a car lot and your company's going under and they're telling you to sell your cars at a loss for your lot. You're losing money on your lot and your employees are losing money. Like, this is a very rough space to be in. And electric vehicles, the change is happening so quick. More and more people are recognizing that they want electric vehicles. I mean, you can say what you want, but this is like what's actually happening. And here's some more interesting news. So there was a hospital, a car lot burnt down at a hospital. And you know what? They said it was an electric vehicle. And now they're saying you can't park electric vehicles here at our hospital anymore. But you won't believe what we found out. It wasn't an electric vehicle. It was a Range Rover. Yeah, a Range Rover. The Range Rover caught on fire, burned down an entire car garage, and they're saying it was done by an electric vehicle. Don't you think that's a little shady? Like, if you know what kind of car it was, the police department figured it out, but they're saying, no, it was an electric car. Who's making this media? And for what? At what cost? Is it to lie to the media, completely lie to people? And then they say, on top of that, you can't park electric vehicles here. So this hospital now has signs up saying no electric cars, even though the fire that started it was not electric. Oh, I mean, that's just unfair. Like, I'm still dumbfounded that even really happened for the hospital to go out and say it was an EV. Don't park your EVs here. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous because inside of massive car garages, it is very like polluted in there because a lot of cars and the engines are driving around and some people keep them running when they're in there. So there's a lot of pollution with inside of these things anyway. And then to just be like, oh, an EV burned it down. I mean, I don't know, whatever. So there's statistics about electric vehicle fires and gasoline vehicle fires and hybrid vehicle fires. So, you ready? So, out of 100,000 EVs sold, it's likely that 25 of them will catch on fire, okay? I mean, that's not a good number, but still, guess what it is for gasoline cars? So for every 100,000 gasoline cars that are sold, 1,530 of them are most likely to catch on fire. You want to know something more interesting? When it comes to hybrids, for every 100,000 hybrids sold, 3,475 of them are likely to catch on fire. So this whole thing about EVs catch on fire, they're this and that, I mean, it's all a lie. Completely a lie, because major car companies that are losing a lot of money because they can't compete with electric vehicles that are coming in, they are saying anything and everything they can to persuade us or you to keep buying their cars because they know they're losing tons of money. Electric vehicles are getting cheaper and cheaper to produce because the batteries are the most expensive things in electric vehicles. The cost of the batteries are coming down and down. And when the cost of the batteries come down, they pass those cost savings on to their customers, which is why electric vehicles are getting cheaper and cheaper. The technology is getting better and better. They're not going to be able to do this with the internal combustion engines at all. I mean, they could try, but they're going to lose a lot of money on it. The idea is plain and simple. EVs are getting cheaper and cheaper, and they're getting more and more popular. Electric cars are going to be taking over. Gasoline cars are going to be disappearing. But the major car companies are upset, and they're trying to change our minds with lies. Well, that's enough for today. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow. I post videos daily about what's going on in the auto market, big tech, Tesla, all sorts of things. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. See you tomorrow.